Hello again. As a quick reminder, this week we are diving a bit deeper into the first installment of our new series, which is called On Fire. And we're learning more about a prophet in the Old Testament portion of the Bible named Elijah. Now, Pastor Jim talked about how Elijah lived during the reign of a king by the name of Ahab. Ahab married a woman named Jezebel, and to that marriage, Jezebel brought the worship of a pagan god named Baal. Now, that god Baal, he appears a lot in the Old Testament because of what he was believed to provide. You see, Baal was supposed to be the god of rain and fertility. And in a time of history before plumbing or water treatment facilities, water was a big deal. Rain was a big deal. It determined how well your crops would do, which determined how much you could eat. So just imagine that it hasn't rained in weeks, your crops are failing, and you have a house full of, I would say, multiple generations of people to feed. You can't make it rain on your own, or could you? Right? Like that's where Baal came in, because people groups throughout centuries thought that they could at least persuade Baal to make it rain. And when you're desperate to live, desperate to gain control of your situation, calling out to a foreign god is very tempting. At least it was for God's people. So when Elijah comes on the scene, he does so by telling Ahab that his God, Elijah's God, your God, was going to make it stop raining until Elijah said the word for it to continue. In other words, Elijah was saying that Baal doesn't have control over the rain. God does. And God was tired of his people worshiping false gods and empty promises. Let me ask you something. If Elijah were to come on the scene right now, like in 2023, to your town, what do you think he would say? Like, are there any modern day gods that you have put your trust in instead of the Christian God? Would he say something like, I'm going to shut down the internet until God decides to turn it back on? Or I'm going to make all of the money disappear from every bank? Or, I don't know, maybe you're imagining something else that would put you on edge. Let me clarify. Like, God's not petty. He's not spiteful. That's not why he made things harder for the people in Elijah's time by stopping the rain. It's actually just the opposite. He's incredibly in love with us, and he refuses to watch us be duped by false gods. So today, ask yourself, what would he want to step into your life to save you from?